All right, good morning. Time for your Coach's Corner program this morning. We have head coach Randy Burwick on the mic this morning. And, Coach, just getting underway. Obviously, you guys started practice first part of November. It seems like it's been a while, I'm sure. And you're finally starting to get into some tournaments, some wrestling, and I guess start of the season. What are your numbers looking like going into this year?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on, Nolan. It's been a while. I mean, we started the 7th or the 6th of November, and we didn't get an opportunity to compete until basically the 1st of December, so it has been a long grind. Yeah, we're down in numbers a little bit. We have 19 boys out and 3 girls that are wrestling, so we have a total of 22 wrestlers. Really good group of kids. We got a great group of young kids that are coming. They're truly some really good scrappers. I'm going to tell you right now. Those kids are going to be. They have a long career ahead of them, and they're going to do really, really well. We do have 2 seniors on the boys team, and we do have 2 seniors on the girls team. I should actually say we have 3 seniors on the boys team. One of them's a dual sport guy, Joey Perkins. Joey's going to play basketball and also wrestle for us, so I was super excited about that. He got his practices in, and now he's obviously playing basketball at this point. We sat down and kind of went through the dates that'll fit for him, and he's willing to help us out, which is fantastic, and so as far as numbers, we got 22, like I said, 19 boys and 3 girls.
And the 3 girls, obviously, this past weekend, you guys had a tournament in Mandan that's been every year. This year, you guys are starting to add a few more girls' tournaments into it as well.
Well, actually, right now we have pretty much a girls' schedule. So there'll be some instances where the tournaments will coincide with the boys, like this weekend when we're down in Rapid City. Obviously, we have the boys' division and we have the girls' division. So we're at the same venue this weekend, but there'll be weekends where we, like the following week, we go to Linton. The boys will be wrestling in Linton, and the girls will be wrestling over in Ashley at their own tournament over in Ashley. So we're trying to, and you're going to see this in the future where there's more and more just set tournaments for girls. It'll be split squad, and our girls will go one way and the boys will go another way. So, and we did get an opportunity this weekend at the Mandan Lions tournament with the boys being over in Mandan, and then the girls wrestled over in Bismarck at Bismarck Legacy at the Bismarck tournament over there.
Yeah, all right, let's head down those results. Let's start off over in Bismarck for the girls.
Jen and Ellie, obviously those two, they've been through it for a long time. I mean, we actually sat and talked the other day, and those girls actually started in 7th grade. They both were in the room as 7th graders, and I remember the days that they'd have to wrestle the boys, and it's a good thing. I am so glad that they have their own sport now, and it's nice to see them compete against the girls. But as seniors, they do what they're supposed to do. They're very talented. Jennifer obviously is signed to continue her wrestling career at Dickinson State next year, and she's going to do a great job. And Ellie obviously is going into the military, and she just informed me that she's, they got a military wrestling team there, and she's going to try out for that. And I said, absolutely. Nice. I think you need to.
Yeah.
So we went over there, and Coach Warbus took them over to the Bismarck tournament, and they did a great job. Jennifer ended up losing in the championship finals. She was up by a point going into the 3rd period over last year's state champion Anna White out of Central Cass, and it was just a knockdown drag out battle. We did end up giving up a fall at the end of the match, but we were winning all the way up to that point, and so we have to make some minor adjustments, and like I told Jen, I said we've closed the gap on her definitely for sure, and so now her confidence level's a little bit higher, and she understands that she just, there was an instance in the match we made a 7th grade mistake really, and it cost us, but no biggie. I mean, it's not where you finish at the Bismarck tournament in December, it's where you finish at in February at the Fargo Dome. So she's got good goals. She's going to wrestle very, very well. She's a returning champ down in Rapid City, so we're excited to get her back down there and and compete in that tournament. Ellie wrestled really, really well. She got to the semifinals by defeating another girl from Central Cass, Gracie Lamar, and Gracie had beaten her a couple times last year, and Ellie just looked really super strong. I wasn't there personally, but I get to watch the films, and really, really looked strong mentally. She looked confident. Her technique was really, really super sound, and she really just overpowered her. And then in the semifinals, we lost that match, and then she came back and won in the consolation semis, and then lost to a real good girl from Pierre for third and fourth. That girl is ranked second or third in South Dakota, but definitely winnable match. So Ellie has good goals set also, and she's been through the grind. I mean, they both placed in the state tournament 3 times. So, they're seniors.
Yeah.
We expect a lot from them, and they expect a lot from themselves.
Well, and Ellie dealt with a lot of injuries too last year. So far this year, healthy and
she kind of tweaked her shoulder a little bit at the Bismarck tournament. I mean, she, I don't think it's anything real super serious. I mean, she's just going to have to work through it mentally. We don't want that to be a hindrance. So and we were pretty fortunate because she's been really having some nice practices, and she was confident that she was feeling well, and hopefully going into Rapid City, she felt good last night. So hopefully her mentality is where it needs to be, and because I really think she can go down to Rapid City and win that whole thing. So I think we could come out of there, and both girls have an opportunity to win.
And that'll be coming up this weekend. Then they're in Ashley the following weekend.
Right. We wrestle Friday and Saturday in Rapid City at the Rapid City Invite. We're taking a split squad again because then we have our younger group will go over to the Bowman County Rotary.
Okay.
And so I think we're taking 6 kids to Rapid City, and then we're gonna send 12 kids over to Bowman, and in the boys division, and obviously the girls will be coming with us to Rapid City. Okay. We do have another girl that's part of our team, very good wrestler, very talented gal, and Akelia Olson, and Akelia is just finishing up her basketball season. She's a dual sport too. She's finishing up her basketball season, so now she's starting to get into the practice room, and her first competition will be next week at the Ashley tournament.
Okay. All right. Let's touch on the Mandan real quickly. You took a bunch of boys up there this past weekend.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back a little bit because we have had a couple junior high tournaments that we've sent a good core group of junior high kids to. The first outing that we had, we went to the Dickinson Junior High tournament, and our junior high kids like Tyler Fitch and Alberto Verdon and Stone Stodheim and Brody Sott, Austin Ormiston. Those guys all got opportunities to wrestle up there. I'm missing some, and that's terrible of me. I guess I shouldn't do that, right? But those guys
don't, though.
Yeah, those guys had an opportunity to wrestle up there and did very, very well. I think we had 9 kids go up there, and I think we had 5 first place in that junior high division up there, and we had a couple seconds and a couple thirds. So the kids wrestled really, really well there. And then we did have another junior high tournament for those guys, and those guys did very well again. So it's really nice because we do have such young kids right now. Mm-hmm. We actually have 10 junior high kids on the team, so that kind of speaks good for us. But they're going to take some lumps on the varsity side, and we saw that in Mandan. We did have some great outings. We started off at 106 with Nick Dobitz. Wow, I mean he's jumped levels since last year. Did a great job for us. Nick ended up 6th at the Mandan Lions tournament in a very, very, very solid 106-pound weight class. But what he showed me was super growth from last year. He really has gotten mentally tougher. His technique is better. We still make some silly mistakes that we got to shore up and that we got to just we're losing positions when we're turning the wrong way. When if we get in that position and we turn the right way, we're probably going to win that position.
Yeah.
And we're just making that minor mistake right there. And we worked really hard this week to get that fixed, and hopefully he'll have a really good weekend down in Rapid City. But Nick came out and got a 6th place for us. We wrestled Burke Vanderpool, who's a young 8th grader, and he's one of our Bison kids. And Burke, we put him in the varsity at 114, and he wrestled really well. I mean, that was, in my opinion, that was probably one of the most solid weight classes in the tournament as far as really, really high-quality kids. Mm-hmm. Burke didn't win a match, but, man, I'll tell you what, he fought every time, and he was in there, and we were scoring points against kids that are returning state finalists. I mean, we're getting reversals, we're getting takedowns. So we're there. We just need some more development, and we need some more experience out of Burke, and he's going to do a great job for us. Then at 121, we had Riley Hasbrook in there, and Riley had kind of an up-and-down tournament for us. He ended up 6th. He ended up in the top 6 at the tournament, but there was a couple matches I know we could wrestle better. Mm-hmm. And then there were some matches we wrestled just lights out. And so, for him to get in the top 6 is a really good feat, but Riley's not a top 6 kid. He should be like a top 3 kid, and he knows that. He works so hard in the practice room, and he's really, really super talented. Mm-hmm. We just at times just maybe doubt ourselves a little bit, but he'll grow through that. He knows what he's got. He's got good goals set for himself, and he's working super hard to get there, and really, really super dedicated this year. You can see he's got a different mindset. Being's last year, he went into the state tournament. He was the 5th seed going into the state tournament, and we didn't place. So he's really set himself up to the point where he says that's not going to happen again. And the way he's working right now,
it shouldn't.
I'm going to say it shouldn't. Yeah, it shouldn't.
Yeah.
And he's doing a great job. And then at 133, we had Kyler Shaleski's in there, and boy, I'll tell you what, you can just see the summertime work that's come from him. He wrestles in a lot of tournaments in the summer. He does a lot of camps. This kid really, but he has one goal, and that's to be the best in the state. He finished 4th. We lost 2 kids out of South Dakota. The one kid is the number 1 ranked kid from Sturgis, I can't remember his name, D something. But we lost, and we wrestled him tough. The match kind of got away from us late, so he ended up beating us 13-4. But that's not indicative of how we wrestled him. We kind of went for something at the end and gave up 5 at the end, and so it kind of blew the match open a little bit. And then he lost to a really good kid from Rapid City, Stevens, and we actually lost to him in the pool, 3-1, and then we lost to him again for 3rd and 4th, which was another 3-1 overtime match. So he's right there with those guys, and hopefully we get an opportunity to wrestle him again this weekend. But he had a real solid tournament for us. Then at 139, we had Stone Stadheim, another 8th grader in there, and Stone's a battler. Man, I'll tell you what, once the kid really, as an 8th grader at 140 pounds, you're kind of up against the wall a little bit. Yep. But he battles. He does a good job. He's got some great technique. He's super, super strong. We just need him to get that confidence, and we need to get that experience for him because, he's definitely super talented. There's no doubt about it, man. The kid's got some great skills. So he's going to have a great career. He really is. Then at 145, we had Trevor Daly. And Trev, in my opinion, is one of the most improved guys right now. He didn't win a match, but the way he competed was so much better than how he competed last year. And we lost some tight 1-point matches down there. So this will be a good weekend for him, getting some opportunities to wrestle. Some of those guys were just a little bit better, obviously, and we were kind of outmatched a little bit. But Trevor really works hard again, and he did a great job for us. Like I said, it would have been nice to get a couple wins there because we were right on the cusp of getting a couple of those wins. But we got to find a way to win too. I mean, we got to find a way to get that done. And then at 152, we had Jaron Frank. Jaron wrestled a great tournament. Another really super tough weight class. Came out and wrestled a kid from Rapid City Stevens right away, and just dominated that kid. That kid's I think the 4th or 5th ranked kid in South Dakota, and I think we were up by major decision when we pinned him. And then we came back and we lost a match in the pool. We lost a match to the Bismarck High kid. It was a good match for 4 minutes. And then we kind of started, we had to take some risks, and our risks weren't super calculated. We were just kind of diving in, and those are things that we talked about. And I think a little bit of frustration might have set in, knowing that, hey, I'm behind by 3. I have to make something happen. So now we're taking some risks that really don't need to be taken at that time. And but he wrestled really, really well. He ended up losing to another kid from Sturgis. And he's a kid that transferred in from Illinois. He was 3rd in the state of Illinois and transferred into Sturgis, South Dakota. Wow. Yeah, what a nice deal, huh? But we wrestled him really, really well. I mean, I think that was a 7-4 match. So then we came back and lost to the Bismarck High kid again for 3rd. But nice, solid tournament for Jaron. Like I told him, I said, we're not worried about what we do in December. We're worried about what we do in February. And he's got a great head on his shoulders this year. He's really calm and relaxed when he wrestles, so that's really nice to see. So he's not kind of getting in his own way. So it'll be nice to see how he progresses throughout the year. And we need tough competition for him. I mean, he's super good. So we gotta get the good matches. 160, we had Tanner Blackwell. Tanner was able to get a couple wins in the tournament. Got into the bracket tournament and then ended up losing in the Consi semis to get into the top 6. They didn't wrestle back to 7th and 8th. He would have been in that match. But Tanner's just got to relax a little bit. But I felt like, condition-wise, he did a great job that way. He battled hard, got in some great opportunities. Really had some scoring opportunity on his feet, but we're just kind of a little bit gun shy, and we got to get over that. I mean, he really does. So other than that, he's come a long ways. And then we put Brody Sott in, another 8th grader at 189 pounds, and it was funny because he wrestled a kid from Central Cass in the first round, and that kid has been in the state Class B finals, and now Central Cass is Class A. Well, I'll tell you what, this kid, tried everything in his power, and Brody just and the kid's a senior, and he ended up beating us like 13-5, but man, I'll tell you what, Brody fought super hard, and then we lost our second match, and then Brody had we had to default him out of the tournament. But so overall, it was my expectations going in were we had 9 kids in the tournament entered in the tournament, and I felt like if we could get 4 on the podium, get 4 in the top 6, that would be a really good outing for us. We did do that. I think we left some matches out there, obviously. I think we lost 4 one-pointers. We just can't do that. We've got to find a way to win those one-pointers. Well, actually, we lost 4 one-pointers in an overtime match. So there's 5 matches that
could have got you on the podium.
Yeah. But good strong field. Good strong field. Sturgis, South Dakota is legit. Yep. They are all that they're talked about. I mean, they're loaded from top to bottom, and that's what you get when you get 8 or 9 seniors in your starting lineup. You have that team that when they talk about you're good, you're good.
Yeah, definitely. So the next few weekends, we already kind of touched on what's going on this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Rapid City, Bowman Rotary going on, and then next weekend you have. You have a duel, right, on Thursday the 14th.
That's going to be a busy week for us. We go down. We have the Linton tournament, obviously. Yep. So we have a lot going on next week. We have a quad in Linton where we'll wrestle Linton and Harvey Wells County on Thursday. And then Friday we have the start of the Linton Holiday Tournament. And then Saturday, the girls will go over to Ashley and wrestle in the border brawl over there. And then then some of our junior high kids will be up in Minot wrestling at Minot, the junior high state. So a lot of things going on next week for the wrestlers, boys and girls, and I'm super excited about it. I mean, we've had a nice week of practice this week. I'm excited for our opportunities this week, and we just got to forge ahead, and it's going to be kind of a test there, because we've got to weigh in 3 days. So, we're going to have to manage our weight, and we're going to have to be able to rehydrate and refuel and compete, and then make sure we're managing our weight and staying on task, and it's a good group. I mean, they do a good job. It's always a little bit tougher when you do have that many young kids, but these young kids have been through it for a while. We have a young kid that came out, and he's a little freshman, Isaiah Kood, and wow, man, I'll tell you what, it is so fun to watch that kid because he had absolutely nothing. He knew nothing about the sport of wrestling, not a thing. And I'm watching him drill last night, and he's hitting duck unders, he's hitting fireman's carries, he's hitting single legs, he's hitting crackdowns. It's like, wow.
So he's watched enough, maybe,
or
he's just instinct, maybe.
He's learning. Yeah. He asks a lot of questions. That's the nice thing about it, and that's the nice thing about young athletes. If they ask questions, that's a little bit easier for us to address it and help them figure it out.
Yeah. All right. Next time, or the first time people get to see you guys in Hettinger, that is it right before the tournament?
Yeah, I would. Okay. We have a quadrangular on the 4th of January. And then we have the Classic, the 5th and 6th.
What's the varsity mixer? What is that?
Well, that'll be the first time because then it'll come down, and we kind of did it last year. It was really kind of a fun outing. Moorcroft will bring Charlie will bring his guys down, and Jeff will bring his guys over. I don't know if Sean's going to partake in it. But then we kind of just mix them all up, and we just kind of match together, and we try and run. Last year we ran 43 matches.
Oh, okay.
And so hopefully we get that many this year. And just get the kids some extra matches, get some extra, you match up the kids ability-wise also. We had some great matchups where young kids were wrestling young kids, and they were just, 12-10 match, and you love to see that. You love to see the kids being able to scrap hard and get a lot of minutes in.
All right. Well, sounds good. Then after that, January 9th is your varsity quad here versus Beulah, Bowman, and Killdeer coming down.
Yeah. So we have a lot coming up. I mean, we're like I told the guys, I said, I told everybody, I was like, guys, you got to understand, we had about 3.5 weeks before we competed. Obviously, that's why I wanted to send the junior high kids to get them, because it is a long time.
Yep.
But that's a good training phase to be able to, hey, I'm not finishing my single leg right. We have to. We have to get that fixed, and it really worked out because I felt like our technique was really good, but it was also nice to be able to see that first outing because there was things that we did wrong, and now we addressed those, and just things as you go through, and you need to see how this kid works on this and how this kid does that, and so it was fun. But yeah, we got a lot of wrestling now. And like I told them, I said, guys, we're going to get into a competition phase where it's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
And so
you have 3 days of practice.
Yeah, you're going Monday, Tuesday, Monday we're coming back. We're going to go over the things that we need to work on. Tuesday we're going to go hard. Wednesday we're going to cut back. We're going to make sure our weights are good, and then we're just going to compete. Yeah. So it gets it'll go fast now.
Yeah. All right, well, appreciate the time, Coach, and we'll talk to you in a few weeks.
All right, thanks, Nolan.
All right, there you go. Head coach Randy Burwick on our Coach's Corner program this morning.